All right, my friends. After 5 weeks, we land on the last round in Group A, and we do not have things established as of yet. It seems like regardless of what happens here, Doubt is going to fall from second to third place. But Miguel, who's currently in fifth, is safe if he gets 1 win. He goes to second place if he gets 2 or 3 wins. However, if he gets 3 wins, he relegates JorDan. Now, if JorDan goes 3-0, he relegates Miguel. A Classic Pro is safe if JorDan goes 2-1. Classic Pro is relegated. And then you have Miguel safe in fourth. And then Doubt is always going to third regardless of all the results. It's pretty crazy. This has been an outstanding group. I'm very excited for this series. Reminder that if you're in second place, you do advance out to face a third place player from another group when we go to the round of 12. So getting that second place position would be absolutely fantastic. And if you're in fourth, you simply stay alive for the next season. From Classic Pro to Miguel to JorDan, we've had some fantastic competition between these guys. And actually, just think about this. So we had Miguel 2-1 in Classic Pro. We had Classic Pro 2-1 in JorDan. And now we have the set between these two. So it's been back and forth between those three. Burgundians for Miguel. Top tier pick on the map Fortified Clearing, which will be our first game. Then we have the Hindustanis for JorDan. And I think we've all established that the Hindustanis can compete with any civilization. And I really like how JorDan's going to go forward here. And interesting, right? Like he could have stayed home and tried to push in some of his deer, but he's going to run forward. And he's going to try and get a bit of a lane going here. He does end up stealing 2 of those sheep. And I think that's something Miguel had seen. And Miguel's probably now like, wait, what? Why would he do that? I don't think JorDan would ever steal this boar, right? He's just waiting by it. And Miguel sees this now. And Miguel's like, oh, okay, JorDan, it's going to be that type of a game. And this will be annoying for Miguel. But both players realize how much is on the line. Miguel might need to head over to the other boar now. And I think, he is very much on the defensive at the moment. Hard to get everything right when you know you have to bring a boar in from this far. But JorDan doesn't know about that. Miguel just playing it safe. That is a bit of a far boar lore, to be honest. That can happen on this map, though. Like this happened here is over for JorDan. But for JorDan, he scouted all of his resources, and then he just figured, might as well go forward to steal some food, and he has done so. All right, Miguel should bring his boar in no problem. Good execution there on the boar lore. And we'll see if anything happens here. JorDan is just being as annoying as possible. Neither scout has taken any damage here. I think we could just see Miguel just hold to the hill. You can see how paranoid he is at the moment. Again, 3-0 on either side, and they relegate the other. But in order for Classic Pro to survive, Classic Pro needs that 3-0. And that's, I think, going to be a tough task here. I think most predictions out there have said 2-1. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Remember, Miguel, he put himself in a position where 1 win keeps himself alive when he 2-1'd the Viper. No one else has done that in the group. And while he gave me a small heart attack there with that weak villager, Miguel's looking pretty good. Gets an extra hit there to even out the scout HP. And I think he will likely double check for the sheep and realize that he's been lamed. So good job from Miguel and Dark Age here. Keep in mind that JorDan did not push in any of his deer, which, I mean, is something he could do if he goes home now. But that is going to be, I guess he makes up for it a little bit by having the 2 extra sheep. I don't think he'll be too bothered by that. Plus, the Hindustani villagers are cheaper. Here we go. T90, might as well just delete your YouTube channel as everyone is talking about how YouTube smells. Yeah, people like to do that around here. And then, like, that's a thing. People show up from YouTube to watch a stream, and they're like, hey, smelly YouTuber here. It's a thing, man. Like, I can't even make it be... I can't even discourage people from doing it at this point. It's ingrained into our minds. And Miguel's going to click up. I wonder if JorDan will sense that Miguel's score dipped. Like, that's a pretty significant score dip. Now, JorDan does have more scouting as well. I probably should have paid attention to the score before he clicked up. But that would tell me that maybe Miguel's clicked up. Now, this doesn't mean that Miguel's going to go for scouts necessarily. You can do that. But I believe what this is for Miguel is a little feudal boom into a strong castle age. You rush feudal age, you can then get your castle age eco upgrades in feudal age with the Burgundians, and this is a really strong build. He's going to send his scout over here. I think he's just going to stay at home for now, and he's probably going to push in this final deer. Does hurt that he doesn't have more sheep right now. Like, that could actually make the difference between him getting his wood and his farm upgrade, or him just getting his wood upgrade. Good thing for him, though, is that Burgundian eco upgrades are still cheaper. So he's got that working for him. And here comes JorDan. JorDan's at home. JorDan's catching up, pushing his deer. And this is fast castle for JorDan. The expectation will be that we probably see some scout play from JorDan in the middle to get map control and control the relics. And then we've got 2 relics on either side. Stones and gold to fight over there as well. Let's see. I'm a little surprised Miguel didn't push that final deer in. Let's see what he can afford here. Wood, farm upgrade. He's actually fine. Yeah, this is going to be a sick boom, and I'll be curious to see what his Castle Age uptime will be. It will most likely be later, but what's nice for him is that he does also scare JorDan a little bit, potentially. JorDan might think, oh my god, I need a wall. This could be scouts. And then he should have a lot more food income than JorDan to be able to flood the map with scouts later on. Not sure about this if you're Miguel. But there you go. He's going to attack the scout now. Yeah. JorDan will not want to lose any more HP on his scout, because once JorDan is in feudal, he can now fight his back. And that's why I was questioning the decision to attack the villager there. But then again, if you kill the villager, it's probably totally worth it. JorDan adding his barracks. Miguel's scout. Again, we'll probably need to leave here in 10 seconds. So he does have the hill. Look at that farming eco. So these farms are going to last forever, man. And there you go. JorDan's up. So I think Miguel, first game in a very important series. I think he got a bit overexcited trying to hit those villagers there. That hurts. JorDan is going to be faster to Castle Age. I think having that scout out and about in the middle would have really helped Miguel. So I do disagree with him doing that. Now we have JorDan walling up just in case we have some scout pressure. He probably would have faced up against more scouts by now, but he doesn't know that. And then now you've got Miguel with the barracks. Obviously thinking about a fast castle, but it's not going to be near as fast as JorDan. And again, JorDan didn't have the eco upgrades. YouTube smells, but Twitch stinks. Well, everybody stinks, I guess. I don't know. We all smell. We all smell together. All right, so pretty straightforward stuff. We'll see the farm upgrade come in for JorDan. He'll start to spam those farms, and he will definitely try and get some scouts out to the middle. Could be a really good thing for JorDan here, because he could probably get, like, a couple relics uncontested. Obviously, he won't want to lose his scout, but what he could do is he could use the scout to see exactly what Miguel's up to. And at this point, especially now that he's showing his scout to Miguel, if Miguel had a stable, Miguel would have already been attacking this, so JorDan should know, but he's just going to double check. And then there is the stable for Miguel. This is not going to be a bad castle. I think the resources he'll have when he makes it to the next stage is going to be absolutely insane. Honestly, it might be good enough where he could go immediately for 4 TCs if he wants to. But JorDan will be able to get the monastery out like we said. So I think for Miguel, he's going to start making scouts as soon as possible. The difference would just be the fact that he can't actually collect the relics yet. All right. There's JorDan with another scout. There's JorDan with the spearman, maybe expecting this. His scout didn't actually see the stable, but he saw the barracks. And he'll know that the follow-up will be a stable. Not a whole lot of surprises in this one. Should be pretty straightforward, especially 5 weeks into this event. And I like the fact Miguel isn't walling, because he knows that JorDan isn't going to really be focusing his scouts on the outer ring. Much easier and much more effective for JorDan to go to the middle. It's a long journey to get all the relics on the side. It's a long journey to send army out there. A couple small walls for Miguel just in case. But keep an eye on that wood count. Because remember, these farms aren't going to be reseeded for a long time. So I think he's going to have like 800 or 900 wood when he makes it to Castle Age. Also is making scouts. There's the second TC for JorDan. And KD's 1-0 just because of that starting scout. JorDan's going to get out there and try and snag those relics. Now, I'll be interested to see how JorDan approaches this, because if you feel like you have the middle uncontested, you are going to snag the forward relics. Because the close ones you see as freebies for you later on. You want to grab the difficult ones. But what he's not expecting is that Miguel is going to have scouts already. I don't know. Miguel seems a little paranoid right now. He didn't see that JorDan walled. So he's now actually going to send his scouts to the sides. Now, we know that this is not really a great call. It would be better for him to go to the middle. I think if he travels all the way over there and sees the walls, he's going to be very disappointed he sent the scouts. And look. Yeah, he's thinking about it. That's a clear tournament nerve thing, right? You're like, oh, I got to do more. I got to do more. He's like, actually, let's not try and do more. And let's just focus on the middle. And here he comes. And JorDan has 1 relic. He actually has gone for the safe ones. He could get 2. Miguel will get light cav. Miguel drops a TC. Miguel drops a monastery. He can even drop another town center. This economy is absolutely insane for Miguel. Also, the micro for Miguel, not so bad. He sees the monk, so he knows what's up. Kill JorDan's scout here. The monk for JorDan is going to die. Great micro from Miguel. Light cav's on the way, and there are those town centers. So this build for Miguel's worked out. Now, he is behind in Vills. So there's a trade-off, but I don't think it's been bad. Not bad, not bad. What's up, Pedro? Yeah, maybe he did hear me. I don't know. It also could... You know what it could have been? He could have clicked here with his scouts. And if there's a wall, it would have pathed his units the other... no, because it's kind of walled everywhere. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong on that. We have the Imperial Age wood upgrade now. Not the fight Miguel will want to take. It was not intentional, but he doesn't lose the light cav. JorDan on 2 relics. Also like this scout from JorDan. He knows there's a relic there. I'd like to see him patrol it, but he might just be keeping an eye on that in the minimap. Now it's 3 TCs. And we have early wheelbarrow here from Miguel. So Miguel's food eco, I think, is going to be insane. I really think we're going to see his food start to climb after all those farms have been farming for a while, and now we have wheelbarrow being rushed in. Sides will matter. Look at JorDan. Realizing the light cav are an issue. I love this move from JorDan. He knows the light cav are going to dominate the middle now. So he's swinging to the outer ring. He's got gates on either side. Also, this gate looks real weird. What's up with that? I've never seen that before. Maybe that always happens and it just stands out to me here. There we go. Carl says, can you have your editors upload the sets to YouTube in the order you cast them? It's really frustrating to have you talk about results for a set you upload the next day. So we had to make a decision between uploading much slower and uploading slightly out of order. So after this season, I will talk to people and see what they want. If they want uploads that are delayed by 24 to 48 hours and everything's in order, or some things being out of order, or just I shut up and don't talk about results maybe for the next season, that's probably what we can do. But in my eyes, there's so many games going on, we wanted to get things up. And maybe, you know, I get excited, I talk about results, and then probably spoiled a couple things for you guys. 27 on food for JorDan. He's got the greater farming eco. He also has the cheaper vills. He has 2 relics, and that's the exact same for Miguel. Miguel here. I think he knew there was a relic there. And now, unfortunately for him, he's missed out on that monk. There's a scout here for JorDan. There's a scout here for JorDan. Miguel is checking for those outer relics. Now, this is kind of sad. He's got a 2 HP. He's got a 2 HP light cap, so he can't actually win that fight. So he never healed that one up from earlier, and he's going to lose that now. JorDan. Oh, almost gets the conversion there. Miguel runs away. Miguel getting atonement, which is super weird. That has to be a misclick, right? Atonement means you can convert enemy monks. Did he try and get fervor and he's getting atonement instead? I just don't feel like atonement is super realistic here. But maybe he wants to convert a monk from within JorDan's walls. It will surprise JorDan. If he tried it, he's going to click that monk. And I think JorDan might sense it too, because JorDan's backing away. He's like, why are these guys running towards me right now? And now his spearmen are starting to get converted. And yeah, JorDan definitely knows something's up. But Miguel will also see that that stable has flags. And JorDan's going to switch into light cav. So 64 villagers versus 73. A lot on the line here. This ended up being cleared. Miguel could get that. Miguel also sending a villager to stonewall the sides. He will want to push up the middle. Still very curious on things like army composition here. So Miguel's in a position which I think is deceiving because you think I'm going to be an imp faster. I've got the quote-unquote map control. And I'm going to maybe drop a castle in this guy's face. Problem is, JorDan's producing a lot of additional army here. So I think any moment, JorDan can actually clear this. Miguel isn't making more Lycav. He is adding some spears, so I guess it will depend. But the rest of this game depends on if the fast university, chemistry, castle drop all works out. And look, JorDan's like, he's kind of expecting something here. And watch this. He's got Town Watch on the way. I imagine if Town Watch had come in a couple seconds earlier that he would have come out here and pounced on this. I'll see what he sees. There should be a university somewhere for Miguel. There it is. So he'll want chemistry. And Town Watch just shows the Lycav and the monks. But JorDan can fight that. And Miguel is going to try and drop a castle forward. And Miguel does not know there's that many Lycav there. This could be a disaster for Miguel. Here he goes. He'll see this. Now, he's got to do so many different things. He doesn't see it. He does not see it. He does have loom, but this castle will be denied. This is precisely what JorDan needed. Miguel not starting off how he would have wanted here. Now, he's got his Lycav on JorDan's monks. That's nice. But he still has no way to keep all of his villagers alive. And JorDan says, sup, bud. I'm going to drop my own castle here. And I don't see Miguel being able to even complete his. This is a disaster for the Brazilian. It was very weird to me how we saw Atonement prioritized. And he saw the stable with the flag and just didn't. He boldly moved forward in a position where he had 2 Lycav and 2 monks. He did make a few spearmen. He is going to get the ranges down. But certainly big losses for him here. He's lost 5 villagers and he's lost a lot of momentum. And now he's got to play from the back foot. So not the start Miguel would have wanted here to the Imperial Age. 80 population for him. It is a much higher population for JorDan. So not only did JorDan not rush Imp early, but he added the 4th TC. So he had 3 TCs producing villagers while he was on the way. That was the moment. If that castle's up in the proper position and chemistry's in faster and you start to mass hand cannons and halbs and get trebs up, it's a very different game. But everything looking very good for JorDan here. Remember, if JorDan gets 1 win, JorDan is safe. If JorDan gets 2 wins, he goes to 2nd place. If he gets 3 wins, he's in 2nd place. And then also he relegates Miguel. So, you know, like, the early imp play all depends on getting that forward castle up. Because you're always going to be a bit off with villager count. And I honestly don't know what you do here if you're Miguel. I don't think this will work out well. He's going to try and make hand cannons, I think, and send them between the ranges. That's what I would do, but they probably, with the way pathing works, this range will probably eject them on the side or something. But yeah, like, I think he's clearly going to try and go, like, pike. He's going to go halb hand cannon. That's his composition. But he doesn't even have pikemen yet. These fights are so cost-effective for JorDan. Fighting with feudal-age spearmen is so bad. His hand cannons do hop out, though. Ulams from JorDan was a nice addition. He doesn't even need that many of them. The hand cannons, they're okay. They're free now. Taking out the Lycav. Missing a couple shots, which is sad. But look at JorDan. He gets Chattagny. So Burgundian hand cannons do more damage, but Indian hand cannons have more range. It is 4-4 with the relics, by the way. And also, JorDan was trying to wall that, and it got denied. But look at the... Oh, my God. There's a Lycav in here. Like, there's no control right now for Miguel. He's going to lose his ranges, essentially. So, I personally would prefer the range when it comes to having the hand cannons. Who cares if you end up doing... If the opponent ends up doing more damage when you can hit them from 2 tiles further. These things are snipers, man. They outrange Arbalest. Oh, my God. That was a sick attack round from Miguel, though. Holy... That was a great shot. And yeah, maybe there's an example there of the gunpowder doing more damage and making a difference. The JorDan's got a lot more in queue. He has more ranges producing. He's also got 30 more villagers right now. And so I think he could just toss away his hand cannons to take out the bomber cannons. Oh, and Miguel's having a disaster start. this series. He loses the game. Yeah, I mean, this is the sad thing about arena maps. So the great thing about arena style maps, it's like, whoa, there's so many different things to talk about. Whoa, what's the composition's going to be? Whoa, it's going to go late game. Whoa, no one died in feudal age. Whoa. But then one decision and it's like, oh, game's over. And for Miguel, it was just a complete misread. I think maybe he thought JorDan was baiting him a little bit with that flag. I just don't see a world where it's bad to produce a couple extra light cav. Or where it's bad to produce a couple extra spearmen. He had the right idea. If he has that map control and he drops that castle in JorDan's face, he's got an edge because he will be faster to bombard cannons. He's got a castle to protect himself and he can push JorDan back. But the sad thing is, his strategy was good, but just not having the military there to protect himself was the disaster. And credit to JorDan for adding in the light cap. It's not very common. I think that's why it surprised Miguel. More food, more gold, more stone for the German. JorDan is officially safe. Miguel is not here in Group A. All right, so we know that JorDan plays AoE, so we're going to remove that because it just looks so much better for our scoreboard. All right, so here we are, Game 2. I'm going to repeat what I just said for the live viewers. If Miguel gets 1 win, he's 4th place. If he gets 2 wins, he's 2nd place. If he does not win any of the next 2 games, he is in 5th. And obviously, Classic Pro and JorDan get shifted around as well. There's actually a guarantee that Doubt, regardless of what happens, will end up being 3rd in this group. This is pretty intense. Final set of Group A. Also, 1 second. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Unimportant. A Japanese for Miguel. And then we've got the Malay for JorDan. Very similar civilizations. They both rely on fishing ships. They tend to then play out into land with archers. And they both have pretty sucky cav. I suppose with Japanese, it's a little better in that regard. But still, never ideal. I never get excited about seeing a player with Japanese having to make a lot of stable units. It's normally never good for the long run. I do get excited about the fact that Malay get bombard cannon. Because both civs lack siege ram as well. So if it comes to a archer skirmisher war, I think I would prefer the Malay. Now, while I would prefer the Malay, Japanese do have the samurai, man. And if the Malay player goes for too many skirmishers, that samurai switch can be deadly. And I think Japanese have the greater potential here if they go for range units combined with samurai. Obviously, it is very difficult to get to that. Also, what is this build for Miguel? Hold on. What is this build? Okay, so guys, if you go back to January of 2022, Wandering Warriors Cup is coming out. They knew Houseboat was going to be in it, and everyone was trying to scheme with build orders. I freaking talked to Miguel and Tato about this build order, and you could essentially go, like, you don't go for fish, which makes it super risky, but you can have a faster uptime than the fishing would give you, and then you can go kill their fish, and if you take out their transport ship and kill all their docks and everything, the game's essentially over. But it's super all in. Like, as you can see, he's not going to dock. He's gone for this mill because it gives him access to 400 extra food. And you can pretty much only do this with the Japanese, by the way, because of the cheaper lumber camps and the cheaper mills. So I saw like a 21 pop uptime. Actually, I think it's 20 pop. I forget what it was. It's been a long time, but I was not expecting Miguel to do this because Miguel, I mean, he played standard against Viper and beat him 2-1. So he's definitely taking a bit of a risk here. Now, this is not the strategy I spoke to Miguel about his series. And like I said, I will not, like, if the strat's going to happen, then I'll start to talk about it. But I'm not going to spoil strategies that he's holding because if he makes out of the group stage, then obviously I don't want people to know about it. That'd be a great way for him to not tell me things. 18 pop? He's going to go 18 pop. Again, I feel like killing the fishing ships is not always enough with this. It's just straight up controlling the water and then taking out their transport. So then their TC's useless. Their new villagers are useless. There goes Miguel. He's going to click up at 18 population. Holy crap. So how many vills does he send forward? He does see JorDan's dock is there. So what he should do, does Malay have a lot of dock vision, is he should try and get over here or way over here. He's going to check. He's going to send 2 vills. This is so all in. Like, this is what I don't like about it. You're up fast, but you're almost up too fast. You won't be able to make... JorDan's going to be like, wait, what? Won't really be able to make the dock. This is actually good for Miguel. Might not seem like it, but that's good for Miguel because JorDan will never expect this uptime from Miguel. JorDan can end up losing his scout. JorDan has so much more economy working. Will he be able to keep it alive? Thankfully for him, with the melee, he does advance faster to the next stage. And you can tell he's checking that shoreline. He knows exactly what these villagers are going to be here for. There are the villagers. Now, you can block it with a fishing ship, but he doesn't get the block down. The dock is going to go up. JorDan's probably like, what? Is this uptime? It's not like JorDan's uptime is bad. Very fast. He's going to have more villagers on wood. Because he has more eco in general. But the fire galley is going to be out. If JorDan defends from this, though, his eco is so much stronger. Melee are bailing him out so hard here, though. If he wasn't melee, he would be at big risk of dying here. We're going to have one fire galley only for Miguel. But do you see how bad his food eco is? He can barely keep villagers producing consistently here. This is very aggressive. Now he has to debate, do I go for the next dock? Well, no, I don't think you do because you need fire galleys with your wood. And now he's actually going to add a dock at home. This is interesting. Scouting around with his scout to see exactly what JorDan's up to. We'll see this dock's going up. Just wants to be annoying and delay where he can. JorDan now has his first fishing ship on the move. He's going to get town watch. That's fine. I don't think JorDan is in jeopardy of losing his water. And so I'm going to check in a moment to see the total resources collected. As we see the fire ship come in here to try and help out and kill a villager. But also kill the scout. Killing the scout would be a big deal. Oh, wow, both scouts are on the same HP. Ah! Oh my god, that's incredible. 1 HP scout, 3 HP scout. They're both one hit away from going down. JorDan's going to pop out with his fire galleys. You're Miguel. You got to be careful here. You haven't taken out anything yet. Incredible job from both players, though, so far. Miguel will now add fishing ships. So he's gone for the reverse order. But Miguel will have villagers here to be able to repair. So, or sorry, not Miguel. JorDan will. Miguel will have 1 villager to repair. He's got to add the fishing ships at home. Now, that scout will be important later. There's the repairs. Miguel's ship is not being repaired. There's the repair now. Still not repairing. There it is. He also has a demo! And he's going to get a hit, but it doesn't actually lead to a kill, which could end up being bad for him. He's attacking the house to be annoying. He does save his scout. He is really determined to take out this ship. And he loses the scout now and takes out the ship. This is a close game here. But so far, I prefer the position for JorDan because he's had more eco working. And those fishing ships have really helped him here. He's been able to have more on wood and more on gold. Maybe Miguel, after the first game, felt like he wasn't in the shape that he was in previously. Oh, disaster. Oh, disaster. I think he's dead now. I could be completely wrong, by the way. But let's check the resources collected. 500 total more resources collected. Obviously, a lot of that wood can go into farms. A lot of that wood could go into more fishing ships. Also, if you wanted to, if you're JorDan, you could use the wood to go barracks, archer range. And so, like, I remember early scheming on Houseboat, and the general consensus was it's a little too all-in to kill somebody here. Well played from JorDan. Like, JorDan knew, because he scouted the villagers, what was coming. He correctly adapted to the situation by placing a second dock, going to wood, going to gold, and now he's adding an archery range. He also has a scout, so he's been able to go full circle around Miguel's water. And Miguel is super exposed here, right? Like, if archers show up, he's got nothing, and he has no reason to expect it. So if he were to expect it, obviously he'd be adding a barracks. He's going to add a dock here, I guess, for more efficient fishing at the moment. So I really like the decision here from JorDan. even just 2 archers with fletching is going to give him a really nice lead going up towards the next stage. Well, Japanese is the best civilization to do this build with. But you can also make an argument that Japanese are one of the best defensive civilizations on houseboat. So you don't have to feel like you've got to pressure the Malay like that. But yeah, that build order is only a Japanese thing. As we're just going to see the demos going for fishing ships. And JorDan will actually save his fish. Sick. Saves his fishing ships there. Very well played. Now, Miguel's uptime is very nice. I do think this could come off as a little deceiving, the resources we're looking at. His uptime could be very nice, is what I think I said, or wanted to say. But he's fully open. He is fishing, of course. JorDan has no way to contest that. But 2 archers with fletching. As JorDan's playing nice and secure for some long-term walls. These 2 archers could kill the entire wood line, and Miguel has no barracks. That's where it gets deceiving, right? Miguel's uptime would be later if he would have had to spend wood on things other than fishing ships. And Miguel honestly might be tempted to call it here. I know it doesn't look like a lot. He should always continue to try in these situations, but this is not looking good for him. I think he's got to fall back for a tower somewhere. Very creative. Saves the villagers inside the transport ship. I like that. There's the market. JorDan's going to take some extra hunt. Good stuff. And Miguel's going to wall this up. And there goes Miguel. So he towers here. And he's now walling. I mean, the food count's going to be nice. But now that you've towered, you won't be able to drop a second town center. So it will be a very defensive approach for Miguel. You kill 2 villagers. And then you have this much. You force your opponent to do this much with just a couple archers. You're going to be loving life. And Miguel's going to lose another one. I guess there was 2 villagers, actually. I think he only lost 1 before. And similar to before. Doesn't look like JorDan's going to click up on time. He doesn't actually click up on time. But because Malay advanced so quickly, boom. There they are. I'm beginning to get worried for Miguel. I don't want to make it too personal. You know, obviously it's his life and whatnot. But we did delay the games because he had... sad news in the family recently. And so, you know, he offered JorDan admin win and said, JorDan, you can have the win. Like, I need time. And JorDan was like, absolutely not. Credit to JorDan, because JorDan could have been like, oh, thanks. But he was like, absolutely not. I will not take admin win. When can we actually play, you know? So, I don't know. Like, the weird thing for me is that Miguel's good enough where he doesn't have to play so YOLO. And he's playing super YOLO, which makes me think he's maybe not 100% mentally right now. JorDan, everything's looking super clean. You've got the TC here. He's going to even research wheelbarrow here, which might seem like a silly thing, but yeah, just research with that TC if you don't feel like transferring villagers back and forth. Miguel's 2 stables. Still that 1 TC, obviously, and... I don't think his eco is going to be good enough to really transition into a second town center. Doesn't have the scouting he needs. He's going to have to kill JorDan now. And I think there's no way, I mean, unless JorDan makes some massive mistakes, there's no way Knights are going to do much. Like, this is Miguel in peak shape. He does not play like this. And, you know, maybe he's a bit frustrated after the first game. The first game was really clean, I thought, until it wasn't. At least what it looks like right now. And we'll see if JorDan ends up closing this out. Obviously, he only has 8 crossbows. There are 4 knights with decent upgrades, so it could take care of those crossbows and change something. But this is definitely heavily leaning towards JorDan going up 2-0, which will put Miguel in Classic Pro in a weird situation. JorDan will go to 2nd place with another win. And then, again... that 3rd game, if it ends up being 2-0, I know I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. But it would be Miguel fighting for his life, basically. JorDan sees the Knights. JorDan just plugs the gap. JorDan behind walls. Remember, Miguel doesn't know about any of this. Because he lost that scout earlier. He is now on the 2nd TC. Here come the Knights. Knights will hit the scout. That was kind of funny. I don't know why Jordan... Maybe it was on attack stance. That's kind of funny. Miguel was really hoping for some damage. He was also probably hoping that it was very all-in-ish from JorDan. That JorDan, you know, had maybe gone aggressive, sold his stone, had to cut some corners to make it to Castle H. But JorDan's on 3 TCs. Eco lead is climbing. And his crossbows are now moving forward. This is the most annoying thing in the world. You ready? What do you think JorDan's going to do? Is he going to kill Vils? Nope. Not going to kill Vils. He's going to kill something that's going to be even more annoying for Miguel. And it's going to be the freaking fish traps, man. 100 wood of fish trap. If JorDan sees the fish traps, he should shoot those down. They go down really fast as well. He's like, boop. All right, say goodbye to your fish trap. Say goodbye to your fish trap. You see Miguel. Miguel gets horsecollar now because he knows he needs to invest into more farms. And the thing is, JorDan's already like 3 steps ahead. He's already got the water secured. He's adding fish traps that have more food. He's got horsecollar in already, so all his farms are, you know, his farm transition makes a lot of sense. He's got a good crossbow mass. I mentioned before, Japanese getting bloodlines is a complete bait competitively. It is not usually that big of a deal. Because the knights just get worse and worse as the game goes on. We have the TCs for Miguel, and this is very much a boom and cross your fingers situation for him. With no army momentum, he just has to hope and pray that he can end up finishing this one off in the Imperial Age. And more so that JorDan doesn't finish him off. As JorDan has played this extremely clean. Both with his scouting, he sees the majority of the map. With his army composition, he's snagging relics as well. I don't know if this is intentional, but I kind of like leaving the pigs next to the gold. And here JorDan is. He's got a monk and he's got crossbows, and this should be very easy work for anyone in this league. And he also gets the conversion. Miguel taps out. Miguel knows. This one's been over for a bit there. The night opening, everything from Miguel was very all in. I think the build order he went for, I mean, that is the build that I discussed. And I do believe it can be effective. But I don't know if it can be effective against someone playing as the melee and playing properly. Because JorDan was still up decently fast. And JorDan had the eco where he was able to just go 2 docks and hold. The tricky thing is you're up fast, but you have 1 dock. You get 1 fire ship out, and that fire ship is burning things for like 30 seconds. And then suddenly it's 2 versus 2. Because your second one arrives, and then their first one arrives from each dock. Make it 2 to match it. And JorDan, again, transitioned his eco very nicely to all the extra hunt and everything. And that worries me for Miguel, because that is not peak Miguel right there. That is Miguel, who clearly is a bit shook, maybe because of some personal things. Is not the same Miguel that had beaten Viper 2-1 last week. All right, well, this is for all the marbles, at least for Miguel. There is a big difference between these games now. If Miguel wins the next game, he's alive for the next season, which he'll very much want to be. He loses this one, he will be relegated down to gold for the next season, and I'm sure he's going to be one of the favorites there. Miguel did not go for the Mongols. He did have Mongols available with all that hunt. Instead, he's gone for the Chinese here. I think he went for the Chinese because he was scared that JorDan would go for the Gujaras. I think Gujaras face off pretty nicely against the Mongols, but JorDan went for the Poles. I'm a little surprised that we have Poles, but it also does make sense in some ways. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm looking around. Where are you going to find farm space with all these wood lines? Also, you're going to place your mills here. It's just, when I think Poles, I think wall ability, which is certainly a thing on this map. And then I think farm space. I don't know. It feels like it'll be awkward for JorDan. Meanwhile, the Chinese, I mean, starting with additional villagers, cheaper technologies, can pretty much make anything. I feel like if Chinese get to like Chukunu Camel, it would look very, very strong. But we've seen games go late here. If the games go late, Poles with even just their winged hussar spam can be ridiculously strong at that stage. It doesn't matter how their units are trading sometimes, just how many of them they can make. And JorDan's berries a little bit exposed on the front. That's fine though, right? Like, you place your mill here, you're okay. I just don't think picking Poles is really the smartest decision for this type of a map. If it's arena or fortified clearing, I don't mind it too much, but this is a bit weird for me. But again, to restate, if JorDan loses or sorry, wins this next game, Classic Pro will go into 4th place and stay alive for the next season. As it stands, Miguel is at 6 wins in the group. Classic Pro's at 7. And then JorDan has moved up into 2nd place. JorDan is at 9. And then Doubt is locked in at 3rd place with 8. What a crazy group this has been. Yeah, this is perfect. Perfect start for Edo. Or for Miguel. I was going to say for Miguel, as Edo said, because Edo's in chat. Okay, you know what I meant. I think the best case scenario on Arabia is normally about 25 seconds of TC idle time there with the Chinese. He's got 20 seconds here. So this is what I would say. I would say open scouts if you're both players. JorDan might opt to full wall and just go greedy with farms, but I think it's still too much to wall. And while we don't normally see players kill a lot with the scouts, if the opponent tries, what it does do is it punishes any type of fast castle play quite nicely. And also with Chinese and Poles, the sooner you get your upgrades, the better. And rushing to feudal age will allow you to do that. Having leftover scouts is good to contest relics and scout the other areas of the map. So overall, Scout Rush just feels like one of the best strategies to go for. And I think we're going to see the same thing for JorDan. He's going to click up. Again, it's just awkward for him to get his farms up. Honestly, I feel like picking Gurjaras would have been the better play for him. I wonder if he wants to experiment a little bit. See how the Poles feel on this, because he will be 2nd place, so he'll be moving out of the group stage regardless of what happens here. Miguel clicks up. There's pretty much no difference in their uptime, but there is a 2 vil difference, which is standard. And Miguel's scout is still sticking around home, not looking to take any risks here. Everything looking pretty clean for him. 2 lumber camps, that's standard. We'll see the barracks soon, and then we'll see the stable eventually. Now, since you have the outpost, you should have quite a bit of vision. I could see JorDan researching Town Watch later. JorDan loves Town Watch. I love how early he researches Town Watch. But obviously, if he's got his walls down, then he might not feel the need for it. But right now, you could tell he's just confirmed Miguel's over here. He was kind of walling everything towards in the front here, thinking Miguel might be more to the right side. We'll probably end up making a stable here. What do you think Miguel's heart rate is at right now? I don't know. I know Miguel very well. It means a lot to him to be able to compete over the next 6 to 9 months. There's a lot of pros right now who are trying to figure out, can I continue to do this thing? I've got the skills, but can I continue to do this? Because remember, our pro scene, for the most part, with few exceptions, more on the older side, right? And he's really had a go at it over the last couple months and will continue to. So I know it would be heartbreaking for him to be relegated. And especially after beating Viper 2-1, I really hope for him, and obviously this goes with no offense to Classic Pro, but after the previous game, it's a little clear to me that maybe, some of the news he got from his family recently has kind of affected his opening once or twice here in this series so far, so I'm hoping that he can pull it together here. I am 100% biased and rooting for Miguel as we cast this, but I will also talk about the situations with fairness. Miguel there, thinking there was a hole, hits a spearman. Where the spearman hits him. It was the same thing for JorDan, though. Very important area for JorDan. JorDan, that's not hitting the mill, dude. JorDan! JorDan! I know I'm not one to talk, but what is that farm? That farm is not on the full work. I forget. Do you still get food? Do you still get the boost if it's 1 tile away? I don't think you do, right? Man, they're very close together with these stables. Miguel said his grandmother passed away 2 days ago, so that's why he had said he wanted to give JorDan an admin win. But I was trying to pump him up. JorDan was the same, and we delayed the games. I'm happy to get him going here. Yes, it's the closest one. Wait, is 1 tile fine? I always thought it could be. I thought the corner could touch, and it would still count. I didn't know 1 tile's fine. Dang, you mean I don't have to place my farms as neat as I've been doing? Sick. All right. Good stuff. Well, then maybe JorDan had that planned out. Miguel is not fully walled yet. JorDan's working on it. And he will have noticed those scouts there possibly. So if he feels like he's walled, he might try and find an opening here from Miguel's walls. But I think Miguel should be able to get this down. And that looks completely walled for me. JorDan might end up pulling his scouts home now. It looks awkward, but I guess it's not quite as awkward, these farms around the full work. It's just the hill that makes it look weird. And Miguel's going to run in with his scouts. I don't mind this. Because it's not like the invitation would have been there if he waited any longer. He might not get any damage from it, but it does make JorDan work a little bit. In the end, though, 2 of those scouts are weak. JorDan's got 3 full HP scouts. We've got 0 kills so far in this game, but it looks like Miguel's just going to try and get out of here now. And there he goes. JorDan doesn't actually have a lot underneath his TC. And great job from Miguel to realize that he's not going to be able to stick around and actually keep his scouts alive. And now he's got a spearman waiting, and he's going to run towards that spearman. There's a spearman. JorDan sees it, and the scouts are safe. Very good game so far. I'd like to see Miguel maybe spread his scouts out now. Just scout the rest of the map. And now you really have to start to think, are you going to add an archer range? Or are you going to stay on stables? I think a lot of matchups, Chinese can go into the archer range. So it's easy to justify. But in this matchup, you know, Poles are usually going to go knights. You might have some concerns about them going for a castle eventually, which we could see from JorDan. But I think we'll just see stable units from Miguel. And he'll think knights are going to be on the cards, so he'll just want to go for knights and camels of his own. Now, something that JorDan does a tremendous job with, and I think that this works so well with the Poles, is he just makes himself hard to kill. All the best players do it, but you know, the full work farming's working out perfectly. Didn't think that was actually going to be the case when we first saw the pick. He will click up here shortly. And I could see him booming in the back corner. I could also see a defensive castle if necessary. So perfect opening for JorDan. But also pretty good opening for Miguel. Miguel's scouting the map. JorDan's scouting the map. And Miguel maybe... He's got to think about where JorDan will go for with his town centers. So he might actually want to keep his scouts active in the north here. 1 stable for Miguel. He's just shoring up his defenses with some houses. JorDan just double checking those things. I didn't say Poles were bad here. I said Poles are awkward. Right? But JorDan has shown me that Poles can work quite well. Overall, I mean, the Polish eco actually can be better than the Chinese, which is a pretty crazy thing to say. That's if things going according to plan, and things have gone according to plan so far for JorDan. This is funny. He wants the weak scout, but they both have spearmen, and the weak scout ends up going down there. This micro has been so nice from JorDan. Just the small moments leading to more success for him. Will be a big boom for Miguel, and I actually love this back corner. I don't know how much he scouted it. Oh, that's really disappointing. If he had this scouted, he would probably town center back here. Maybe even right here. Okay, he is going to town center there. But even having more deer there is really nice when you want to boom. Chinese have more food on their farms, which leads to farms not reseeding quite as quickly. You have fight here in the middle, and great micro from JorDan as he kills the scout and runs away. 5 to 3 KD for the German. And he does not have the stone for a castle yet, but he wants to boom. He also wants to add knights. JorDan on 1 stable, adding the monastery. It's like both players expect this to go late. They're not going to go too aggressive. I like the TC position for Miguel, and I love it for JorDan too. You do not want to farm boom on the left side, which is in between you and your opponent, and probably where the aggression is going to come in. So this all makes sense to me. So the thing about Poles, as we always talk about, and I really do love Poles as a civilization. I think, like, I'm a big fan of bonuses where you have to play uniquely to take advantage of them, and I think poles are one of the best definitions of that. Wow, Miguel's running in. What a crazy guy. He's running in here. I guess he's just going to try and kill villagers. I don't see what else he's going to be able to accomplish here. He goes in for the vills. He does have forging, so he can kill vills faster. They're Polish vills, though, so they heal up. And now there's a monk. Okay, kills one. JorDan should put an end to this here shortly. But anyways, you know, having to place the farms a certain way, being able to take stone, and then get some gold in return is just so unique. I love it. But the Chinese can also kind of do anything. And as JorDan quick walls to save that villager, well played. I feel like I would prefer to be the Chinese still, but I'm not so sure if I'm the same as some of the pro players who've been picking poles nonstop in these events. The units themselves are not that strong, right? You miss the final armor in Imp. I love how annoying Miguel's being. He's coming back for that villager, actually, but it's healing up now, which is kind of funny. But you missed the final armor upgrade in the Imperial Age. And so with the opponent getting fully upgraded camels, fully upgraded halbs, and then the unique unit, the Chukunu, can be insane. Look at that monk try and hide in there. He just tried to convert a knight, and the knight got deleted. Miguel picks it off. Think about how this has played out. Like, all these knights and monks from JorDan could have been elsewhere around the map if they didn't have to deal with Miguel running around. This is awesome. And he now has a vill lead. Again, he's not going to find any weak villagers because they do heal up with the poles, but still keeping the knights in his base, allowing himself some time to maybe try and get some relics. But JorDan's also sitting there on the relic. Just like before, Miguel ends up getting away with scouts. That's awesome. But if we're talking ideal compositions, I think it's Cavalier and Olbuk. Or maybe like Olbuk Arbalest. But probably not in this matchup. I think it's like full-on Cavalier and Olbuk. The poles. And then for the Chinese, I think it's Chukunu. Chukunu and anything, honestly. Poles do not have great siege. 50-60 Chukunu should just dominate. Oh, Miguel. He knew there was a scout there. He goes for the conversion on the knight while it's there, and he gets the conversion. The good stuff for him, but great stuff from JorDan there to kill the monk. Right now, it is 0 relics for both, but you have to imagine relics will end up coming in. And JorDan's sending villagers across the map. This looks like a TC gather point issue. Oh, no. Maybe he did that intentionally? We could place that TC. Yeah, I just don't know. Like, I guess the Olbuk is going to be needed if we see camels or lots of halbs from Miguel, which he can do. But I don't know if Miguel's going to really open with that. I love the early handcart decision. Oftentimes I like to do handcart, though, when you're going for a 4 TC boom. So this would be very similar to game number 1, where Miguel is deciding to go for 3 TCs and maybe a faster Imperial Age. Not sure if I love that against JorDan, because JorDan right now is really prepping himself for the late game and backed into a corner there. A nice job there. Both players have to lead a knight. Miguel desperate to keep his monk alive. JorDan patrolling into that, not realizing the monk is already gone. He will lose his scout. Still, I think JorDan will be pretty happy with this. Again, he's got to cut space for the full works. But he has been able to find a fair amount of space in his back corner so far. Like, having 35 farms at this stage isn't too bad. And he can still farm around some of these. It just makes it more awkward. Speaking of awkward, there goes Miguel. He's going to drop a castle here. Yeah, this is where Miguel wants to push. He wants to push right into this area. And that is the bulk of JorDan's farming eco. Also, still a hole here. And I think he had maybe clicked the monks to the right to get relics that he had scouted. But the monks will stop if the relics have already been picked up. And so, now even more reason for Miguel, I'd say, to push the middle. If JorDan's going to have all those relics. You know what sucks for Miguel right now? He doesn't see this back gold. There's stone and there's gold back here, and he needs to find that. Look at JorDan's vision. JorDan sees all the stones and gold in his corner. He even sees the stone and gold over here and over here. But Miguel not seeing that, it could potentially hurt him. He's working off of this gold right now, but that's all I've really seen. I guess, okay, he's got some left there, obviously. Miguel is going to click up. It's now decision time for JorDan. And look how far away he's building the castle. He knows. He just wants the castles to protect his farming eco, and he wants the castles for his unique techs. Whereas I think Miguel is going to try and use his castles for production, both with Chukunu and also trebuchets. I'll tell you what JorDan needs, and it's going to be so sick to see how he deals with it. He needs like a siege workshop here and a couple stables. Can you imagine how strong that would be if he's pushing in with rams and cav while Miguel's trying to push in the middle? The thing is, I don't know if JorDan's going to go cav. It looks like he will. Okay, he's getting the upgrades. How many farms does he have here? He's got like 25 farms here. This is the spot to push for you if you're Miguel. Also, lovely stone walls from JorDan. Guys, this is getting intense. And if Miguel doesn't know there's stone and gold back here, I swear it's going to be so bad. Maybe he somehow sends a monk over there. There's a relic back there as well. Going to be producing Chukunu. He's using the castle to shoot the gate now, so he will be in any moment. He's only going for Chukunu, though. I don't know if only Chukunu's enough. I think he might need something more here. And actually, never mind. He's going to break through this stable. There's a slight chance that JorDan will research Cavalier in this stable. Because when he goes to research Cavalier, looks like the stable might stay up. But he will always go to his first stable first. He's in Imp. He should get Conscription. He's getting the stables down. Some scouts come over here. That should do nothing. We now have barracks for Miguel. And we will have Cavalier in another stable for JorDan. Has he seen the gold yet? He does not. He's getting closer to it. And he's also getting close. He will actually find the stone soon. Miguel can run in now. And he has realized with these scouts what JorDan's up to. He sees the stables. So the barracks switch was correct. Though it's a little slow for me. One villager making the barracks doesn't excite me that much. Not having pikemen upgrade doesn't excite me that much. And we actually have a castle here from JorDan. Miguel wants to drop a castle as well. Miguel's like, okay. All right, well, here we go. But this is so... With 110 villagers, this is so little, man. JorDan's Cavalier number is going to be insane. Making Trebs now out of the castles, right? So he can't make Halbs out effectively because he has so few villagers over here. JorDan's got a lot of resources in the bank, so he can play the repair game for a while. Feels like JorDan just needs another batch of Cavalier, and he can take all this down, but Miguel is getting the upgrades for his pikemen. He is applying pressure to JorDan constantly, and that's what he wanted. And because he doesn't know about that gold, he's going to this gold here. Still has no vision on this. Alb Chukunu is the composition that I would want to have if I were Chinese against the Poles. But is Miguel overextending? We'll see. I think his castle's going to go down. You can tell JorDan's being very patient. Miguel with double blacksmith, so he's catching up on upgrades a lot faster than I thought. JorDan's about to run out of stone. JorDan is about to run out of stone, which Miguel is not. JorDan will have to buy it here. You definitely have to buy it. But he didn't buy it. He didn't buy it at the proper time. Oh, the castle is so close to going down right now. I think it will go down. There it goes. Goes down for both players. But now the Trebs are exposed for one player and not the other. Miguel at 165 population. He says, I'll take that Treb, thank you very much. I'll take that bombard cannon, thank you very much. This pressure is getting to JorDan, and now Miguel's numbers are looking a lot higher. All of his castles are queued. All of his barracks are queued. He's getting rocketry now. And Miguel, he needs one win to stay alive for the next season. One. If he wins this game, Classic Pro's relegated. If he loses, if JorDan can push this back, he himself will be relegated. And guys, this is the area we talked about earlier. I love the recognition from JorDan. He knows that this is really tough to deal with. But he knows that if he gets in, Miguel could have some big problems. So Miguel, he might need defensive castles here. He might need to patrol some halbs over here. But at the same time, he needs to continue this push. I love the decision to get rocketry. because Rocketry actually affects the Chukunu a little bit. But many people argue it's better to get for Chukunu before Elite. And he's all over JorDan. So if he can hold this, if he can defend from this push, and he can continue to snowball this push into JorDan's eco, which is super exposed, Miguel can take this. JorDan's pop is disgustingly low right now. Also, his relics are inside of that monastery. He has no answer to the Chukunu. He's trying to get ranged units out. He doesn't have the upgrades. I think ballistics might even just be for his castles. Double checking for holes here. I'm not seeing it. I think we'll see Miguel patrol this over. And Miguel went from, oh my god, he's not producing, to having 200 population in no time. Holy. JorDan maybe is too predictable with the pulls. Is that it? Oh, he's through! He's through! There is a chance that JorDan can still do this. These Cavalier will wreck Miguel back here. It's also so annoying, right? Because your units are so slow. JorDan can split up into 6 different areas. And JorDan's also expanding his eco right now. He's got more farms. Love to see Miguel drop a monastery and take those relics. I'd love to see him bring his trebs forward as well and push the next castle and the stables from JorDan. JorDan's Cavalier are going to spread their wings and they will fly. And they will make this so awkward for Miguel. He's now going to delete a hole in his wall. Like, something that some players refuse to do for some reason in 2022 is they don't make stone gates in their walls. JorDan did that, for example. And I feel like it makes running in and out of your base so much easier. He has to deal with this. But he also has to continue pushing on the front. And now JorDan is hoping that he can engage against this because the Chukunu and the Halbs are in a smaller number due to all the reinforcements going home. In the end, Miguel will clear this. His population's still very high. Also, he might see this gold in this relic now. Could barely see the gold, not the relic. And JorDan pops out with the cav. Surprise. And that's not a bad fight for JorDan. I like the distraction here with these cav. He should be able to keep his castle alive. JorDan's population should be looking a little bit better here over the next couple minutes. Now Miguel's going to try his best to get these relics. He's going to get the relics. He also has a bunch of army in his base right now that's going to be coming forward. But with 40 farmers, that's the pulse. And we still haven't seen JorDan really playing into a lot of ranged units yet, which he could do. I think JorDan still has a chance. This obviously is annoying. Chukunu disrupting some of his eco. We have Miguel immediately going to push to this side now. He does know about this castle, but he's going to shift some trebs over here. Look at all the red flying forward now. Miguel has 4 relics now. Could be all 5, obviously. And I guess, I don't know if he set his gather point here without remembering there's a castle or if he's just okay with it. But yeah, the Chukunu killed villagers. The Halbs are still here. It's 80 army for Miguel. Again, Classic Pro will be relegated if Miguel wins this game. JorDan needs to get murder holes. I'm not even kidding. JorDan needs to get murder holes. And guys, his population, even though he stopped the attack here, his population hasn't gotten that much greater. And he still doesn't have archer ranges. If he doesn't have archer ranges, I'm not sure he can really cut it against straight Halbs, straight Chukunu. I was expecting that would count to lead into archer ranges, but it does not. And Miguel, he wins that game. And man, did he look good in the Imperial Age. Miguel, maybe not his best series of the entire group stage. Capture Age, come on. Give Miguel his win. Come on. Okay, maybe not his best series as a whole, but if you think about the results that he had in this group, not too shabby. He loses 2-1 to JorDan. He lost 3-0 to Doubt, but he beat Classic Pro 2-1. He beat the Viper 2-1, and he also beat Say My Name, I believe, 2-1. So Miguel has 3 sets won. JorDan will have 3 sets won as well. This is great news all around for these two. So you have Viper at the top of Group A. He gets a bye. JorDan is second place in Group A. Doubt is third place in Group A. So JorDan and Doubt, all the GL players in this group, they will move on to the playoff stage. And then Miguel stays alive and will be back in Platinum for season number 2. Now, sad news for Classic Pro, because I think Classic Pro played amazing. Remember, he beat JorDan 2-1. The Classic Pro, unfortunately, will be out. Miguel had one more set won, and even if they had the same amount of sets won throughout the group stage, Miguel did also win his head-to-head against Classic Pro 2-1. So Miguel kind of had him beat with 2 tiebreakers there. Group A was a fantastic group. I really enjoyed this one. I was worried, because we had some other instances where you have like one guy who's just on top of everybody, destroying everybody, and then it's a fight amongst the other players. But even though Viper did play the best in Group A, there were some very important sets and very important wins against Viper. Like Classic Pro snagging that 1 win against Viper was massive. Put him in the running. Miguel winning 2-1. If Miguel didn't win 2-1 against Viper, he's probably relegated here today with this result. It was a great group. So, sad news. Classic Pro Say My Name will be relegated. They will go down to gold for the next season, but a great series.